Hello and welcome to another edition of the Moving Iron Podcast. This podcast is proudly provided by Axon, helping dealers move more iron for almost 100 years. Find out more at agmarkets.com. Axon was started almost 100 years ago out of a passion for keeping agriculture moving. It's that same passion that drives them today. With a vision for a better experience for both farmer and dealer, they set out to create a better way to move more iron. When you partner with Axon, you get immediate access to a full range of products and solutions designed to meet the complex needs of today's grower. Axon carries all major brands and sizes of tires, wheels, and tracks. From custom colors and sizes to fully customized wheels, you can have the solution for virtually any problem today's farmer is trying to solve. To find more or become an Axon dealer, please visit agmarkets.com. This podcast is also brought to you by Valley Transportation. Valley Transportation has been hauling ag and construction equipment across the country for the past 33 years. Call Parker at 800-657-4910 or go to valleytransinc.com for all your trucking needs. At Valley Transportation, our goal is to help you reach yours. This podcast is also brought to you by Ag Direct. No matter how you buy your ag equipment, from a dealer, auction, or a private party, Ag Direct can help you finance it. You can even apply online at agdirect.com. Learn more about your financing options at agdirect.com.
Moving iron in the 21st century. Hard-working people working hard for you and me. Moving iron time and time again. Through the years you'll find us here. Moving Iron.
Hello and welcome to Moving Iron Podcast. This edition of the Moving Iron Podcast is brought to you by Valley Transportation. Valley Transportation has been hauling ag and construction equipment across the country for the past 33 years. Call Parker at 800-657-4910 for all your trucking needs. At Valley Transportation, our goal is to help you reach yours. And I have got Parker and Brad on here from Valley Transportation. What's going on, guys?
Oh, good day. A little chilly here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I think that's a relative term in Minnesota, man. It's cold. That's cold here, you know.
Yeah, it was 14 below this morning when we got up, so.
Yep. Yeah, that's cold. Know where I come from. So, yeah, that's
right.
Yeah. How you guys?
With you, Casey?
Yeah, things are going good, man. We had that cold snap. We've been right on the edge of that really vicious cold air. I mean, I was talking to Parker before we started recording here, and I was looking at the weather map trying to get an idea for what the day was going to look like, and that dip of Arctic air came through, and we were about an hour and a half south of that, and the difference was about 25 degrees from where it started and where it finished. So we need some snow, but I don't need 25 below either. So it's it's a catch either way, right? So
Right.
yeah. So how you guys been so far this month? You guys been cold, a lot of stuff going on. You got a lot of trucking situations popping up around the country. What's some of your feedback on what you see happening out there right now?
Well, you know, we started the year off, of course, just working on our rates and things.
Yep.
And as you know, rates aren't getting any cheaper. So we've been adjusting some of them with our customers and working and dealing with them to get those raised up, and still have the driver crisis. You know, the hiring crisis is always going to be there. You know, We've always had it, but it's a lot worse today than it's ever been. So, yeah.
After holidays, around the holiday season, it seems like, you know, you kind of lose a few people, go home, and then they just stay there.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. When you guys take a look at what's going up in Canada, you know, with this whole, I don't know if it's just trucker strike or what do you want to call it, but it's you know, they're driving from Vancouver to where Ottawa, right? Is that where they're going? All the way across
Ottawa,
all the way across the country there, and I've been watching a lot of videos on that and those kind of things. And I guess as you guys look at that, Parker, are you seeing really anything from a booking of the freight side of it that's causing a lot of logistics with the companies you guys deal with going back and forth across the border?
It hasn't so far with the companies that I deal with that haul our freight back and forth, and I haven't really brought it up to them this year anyway, but I've seen a little bit on the news, and I don't know how they're going to get it all done, getting all these drivers vaccinated and different stuff like that, but so far I haven't saw any issues with it so far anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
think they're going to have a big problem trying to get this driver pool vaccinated. I know when we started talking about it here prior to that mandate getting squashed, we were having a lot of feedback from drivers and a lot of issues. So, and I think that's all about what's going on in Canada. They can't cross the border without it, and they're just objecting to it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on right now, even down here, with some of the stuff that you see in various hospitals and hospital workers and government workers, those kind of things. We start seeing that stuff start to really trickle down. So there's a bigger issue there than I think that than what the powers that be where they want to look forward to and admit when 25 or 30% of the truck drivers, in Canada just say, well, we're not going to do it. We're going to do something different, or we're going to go down and work in the U.S. or something like that. That creates a pretty big problem, and it's going to be something to address.
I read something yesterday. They've got 50,000 trucks in that convoy and 500,000 people.
No kidding.
Those are some big numbers.
Yeah, that is. I didn't realize it was that big. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's family members and vehicles and. You start landing that group of people in one location when they get to their destination, and they're going to have an impact.
Yeah, it's going to make a few people turn their head. That's for sure.
Right.
That's for damn sure. So, well, Parker, let's talk a little bit about what you're seeing on the logistics side of it out there from the lead times that you're seeing. As you truck stuff around, what kind of lead times are you looking at right now when you guys are booking freight?
It still all depends on what part of the country it's coming from. But 2 to 3 weeks from when we get the information and when the machine's actually ready to ship. This month, it started out pretty tricky, with the holiday season. You got so many drivers wanting to be home, so it took us majority of the month to get caught up from everything that we had in December. Mm-hmm. But right now, everybody's steady. The factories are busy. John Deere in Iowa is pretty slow, but I think they're starting to get back on track and get some stuff released. But I think it'll get real busy again here before too long.
Yep. From an OEM perspective, are you seeing? Is there any indication out there that you're going to see a lot more freight start making its way out of these factories? Coming into spring and through the summer.
I would sure think so. They've kind of been slowed up here the past few weeks. I would imagine they'd get everything rolling and start going. I haven't heard anything on chip shortage. I think there's still a lot of tractors down in Waterloo that are waiting for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But other factories that I haul out of, it's hit and miss. A lot of the time stuff's ready to go. A lot of the times the day before they tell you to hold up for another week because they're waiting on parts. Yep.
I know you guys get stuff out of the port from time to time. The situation out in California seems like it's cleared up a little bit, but it's still kind of there. You get down around Galveston, it's a whole different thing. Then you get out on the East Coast, it's another topic altogether. So I guess as you look at the port situation, what are you seeing now coming out of the ports right now? Is it still depending on where you're at type of thing, or is it all kind of cleared up pretty well?
Yeah, it still seems like it depends on where you're at, and with the container situation, I think that's the biggest issue out in California. But like the places that we're loading actual equipment, excavators and different stuff that come in brand new, that hasn't been in the issue. But like going to a couple of the ports down in Texas where it used to be you just pull in and get delivered, now you got to make sure you call at least 2-3 days ahead to schedule a unloading appointment, and if you might be on a list and you don't know when you're going to get your stuff off your trailer.
Really? So so I guess it's picked up quite a bit in down in Texas. Is that a lot of that kind of some overflow from various other ports that are having some backlog issues, you think?
Yeah, a few exporters that we deal with that move a lot of equipment to different countries and stuff, a lot of used combines, and they're buying a lot of stuff, and they kind of determine which port they want to get it sent to depending on how busy that port is, whether we ship it to Baltimore or Freeport, Texas, or Galveston or Houston.
Right. Yep. All right. So, Brad, let's talk a little bit about, the driver situation you alluded to earlier that, still have some driver shortages out there and what that looks like. What are some of the some of the key factors out there right now as you take a look what's going on there? I mean, what's Valley doing differently right now, trying to get people on board to get some drivers out there?
We just redid our advertising again yesterday, and we've adjusted our pay scale early this year, and raised that up quite a bit. But it just seems like, the biggest challenge, the two biggest challenges we have is home time and pay.
Right.
When they leave, that's the two things they talk the most about.
Yep.
We keep them out. It's hard to haul iron and have them home every night.
Right.
So
yeah.
If we're leaving Iowa and going to California or Florida or wherever, it just, the timing, and then by the time you get them a load turned around and headed back this way, and they're going to be out 2-3 weeks, so it gets to be a challenge there. So we do have local positions available too, where they are home every weekend, but there's only a certain amount of that. But pay has really gone crazy. These guys are just, paying through the moon. If they're having trouble hiring drivers, they're just opening their checkbooks, and that's what we're finding, that the minute a driver finds that out, he's gone. So
right,
it's hard to manage and keep a handle on costs and overhead issues.
Yep. No, I understand that. Same way here on the equipment side of it too. I mean, there's just right now it's just one of those. It's an employees market. You're trying to find those things out. So yeah, it's a definitely a different set of challenges than what we probably used to seeing. But there's some light at the end of the tunnel here. I hope sooner than later. Hopefully we can get a few things changed around here.
We've really noticed here since the first of the year that we've had a lot more people coming through the door looking for jobs. We filled a couple positions here on site that we had opened, and the drivers are starting to roll through the door again. So hopefully things are changing around a little bit out there. I know some of the programs and things that they've been able to utilize are going away. So hopefully they figure out they need to go back to work.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be real nice. When you look at what's going on right now in the, tractors and combines, those kind of things obviously have some huge delays. Last time we talked, there were some pretty even longer delays on the truck side. Are you guys seeing those delays shrink at all, or is it still about the same?
It seems like they're shrinking. I just got a call yesterday that they opened up second quarter that we can possibly order some more trucks. So we had to give them a number of what we would be interested in. The issue is they took all our discounts away. So they're going to get more money for what they're shipping out the door, or they're going to sell it to somebody else. So.
Right. Yeah, that's we're seeing the same thing too. Guys are out there right now doing that stuff, and they're if they're hem-hawing around or they're not making quick decisions, they're getting left in the dust because it's moving fast. I've never seen the decision-making process get to where it is. If you want it, you need to make your decision today. So if you go from there. So.
I had about 6 hours yesterday to make up my mind on how many I wanted. So
right.
They didn't give me a lot of time.
Yeah, it's amazing how fast they want you to move. But I mean, it's the world you live in, because just like you said, if you don't want it, there's 6 other people that'll take them. So it's a weird place. So well, I want to get your guys' opinion on this a little bit, because I read about as much about this as I've read about other things. But Deere introduced their autonomous tractor here at the first of the year, and what that looked like in the tillage application. You read a lot of stuff out there about autonomous vehicles, and especially on the autonomous truck side, and what that looks like. Just for conversation's sake, as you guys look out across the landscape right now, what are you hearing from your manufacturers, the Peets and the Freightliners and the Western Stars and those guys, when you start looking at autonomous vehicles? Where are they at with that? And I guess how soon do you think that's going to be a realistic thing in the trucking industry?
Yeah, to be real honest with you hardly even have those conversations yet. I mean, if you're sitting around talking like we are today, they will come up. But for the majority of the people on the trucking side, they're pretty sure they have the same feeling I do. that's a long ways in the future if it's ever in the future. So,
right.
You know, especially for us guys hauling iron and stuff, there's always going to be a driver in that truck.
Yep.
You know, just because of maintaining the freight on the trailer and taking care of it and making sure it's tied down, secured properly. You know, will you have some assist from the truck on the driving portion? Probably. You know, you might see that, but I really think that we're 10 years away from a truck following a truck with a driver in it.
Right.
You know, so they're going down the road with two following one with a driver in it, hauling a load of whatever, blue jeans or whatever, you know. But I think we're a lot farther away from just having one out there skating along with no driver in it, period.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's I
don't know about you, but that doesn't give me a big comfort level.
Now, if I drove by a truck and there wasn't anybody in it, I would try to get around it as fast as I possibly could.
Taking a nap.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be a different thing. But same with a car though too. If I drove by somebody and there was just a car, somebody sitting in the back seat, nobody in the front seat, I'd be like, oof.
Yeah,
a little scary. Yeah,
I don't see it. You know,
that's gone bad.
Exactly. Yeah.
mainly for insurance purposes too. Who takes the liability on in a situation like that? You know, it'd be tough to do.
Yep. And I think that's
it'd be hard to go after truck manufacturer.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing even on the ag side of it that's really holding that back is when it kills a family of four in a minivan someplace. Who's at fault? You know, who's the lawyer going to get paid from? And I think that's what the big drawback is right now. So it'll be interesting to see how things wrap up as that kind of comes.
It's a good idea. It definitely help with the driver shortage, but it's a long
ways away for sure.
Casey, I got a feeling you and I ain't going to be around to see it.
You're probably right. Yeah, it's probably further out than we want to want to admit to that. So
yeah, for sure.
All right.
Probably further out than the electric trucks. You know, I mean, if they can ever get that figured out so they can drive an actual long distance, you know.
Yep. Yeah, I had a conversation with someone about the electric tractors the other day, talking about that, and it's good at about the 50 horsepower level, but I don't know how it's going to work. They don't have the battery technology to really sustain a 600 horsepower, type of machine out there. So it's fun to talk about this kind of stuff, but fruition is always, one thing else, right? So.
Yeah.
Right. And like they came out with the Polaris Ranger electric vehicle, that's all great and everything, but it's only got like an 85-mile range if you go trail riding with somebody. Yeah. Where are you going to plug it in?
Yeah, it'd be kind of bad to get stuck out there in the middle of the mountain someplace and your battery's dead. Yeah.
Give you a reason to go to the local pub, though, and get it charged up.
Yeah, you can sit out there and wait for a minute. That's for sure. That's for sure. All right. So I guess as you guys take a look at your landscape right now and you kind of see what's out there, what are some of the stuff that's on the horizons for Valley Transportation that you want people to make sure they know about?
I think things are pretty positive. We got a good outlook for this year. The freight is coming back. We saw a big gain last year to rebound off of our 2019 numbers, and we just think we're going to have the ability to hire more people and drivers in the seats. And, we've got a really new fleet of equipment. We've done a lot of trading over the past 2 years. We were fortunate enough to have all our orders in and we're able to upgrade all of our equipment and sold our used stuff off at a number that I never thought we'd ever see.
Yeah.
And, so things are pretty positive here on our end.
Yep. Yep, I would echo that. Same deal. I mean, if you have whatever you have that's available today that you can sell, whether it's a semi truck or a combine, you're going to get top dollar for it, and it's pretty amazing what you can make things happen now. So,
right.
But yeah. So, well, good stuff, guys. If Parker, why don't you instead of me reading it, why don't you throw out how we can get a hold of Valley Transportation?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you can give me a call at 800-657-4910. Go to our website at valleytransinc.com, or shoot me an email at pjohnson@valleytransinc.com.
Right on. And Brad, if folks want to reach out to you, what's the best way to do that?
Just call the main office here at the same 800 number, 800-657-4910, and ask for me, and you'll get in here. Otherwise, bgraf, Grafe, at valleytransinc.com is my email.
Right on. Good. Well, guys, appreciate you being on the podcast, and thanks for partnering with me this year on the Moving Iron Podcast.
All right. Thanks, Casey.
Thanks, appreciate it. Have a good day.
You want to have a meaningful competitive advantage to help sell more equipment. Whether you represent the sales, parts, or management department of an implement dealership, there's a surprising amount of complexity when it comes to tire, wheel, and track technology. Let Axon worry about that so you can get back to supporting your customers. Axon has leveraged years of experience to create a streamlined process that gives you a proven path to help today's grower and sell more equipment. The roots of their organization go back almost 100 years to the invention of the rubber tractor tire. Supporting agriculture is the number one driver of Axon, from product development through sales and service. To find more or become an Axon dealer, head over to axontire.com. Valley Transportation has been hauling ag and construction equipment across the country for the past 33 years. Call Parker at 800-657-4910 for all of your trucking needs. At Valley Transportation, our goal is to help you reach yours. And no matter how you buy ag equipment, from a dealer, auction, or a private party, AgDirect can help you finance it. You can even apply at agdirect.com. Learn more about your financing options at agdirect.com.
Moving iron in the 21st century. Hard-working people working hard for you and me.